What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Thursday, July 9th, 2026, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now it is 14:02 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from the Middle East. So last night, the U.S. launched another round of strikes on Iran. And in response to that, Iran launched missiles at Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan this morning and late last night. So first, the U.S. launched another strike on Iran. Then shortly after that, Iran launched some missiles and drones at Bahrain and Kuwait. And then later on this morning, Iran launched more missiles, and this time they targeted Jordan. Okay, so this is very, very serious. And now Trump is in the U.S. He returned from Europe for the NATO summit, and he has been getting an intelligence briefing since 1 p.m. or 1300 hours. So for the last hour, Trump has been getting an intelligence briefing on Iran. So what this means is that the U.S. is going to absolutely annihilate Iran potentially as soon as this evening or tonight. And it could get very, very interesting over the next couple of days. And I know I said I was going to go live last night if the U.S. would strike Iran again, and I didn't go live, and I wanted to apologize. I was getting my truck ready for the four-wheel jamboree this weekend in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. If any of you guys are in the area, stop into the four-wheel jamboree. I'm going to be there. It's a once-a-year show, so I had to get some things ready for that. But right now, we have two U.S. nuclear war command and control planes up in the air, and we have one heading out into the Gulf of America. And this means that they're going to start communicating with our submerged nuclear-armed submarines very soon. So if you tune into my 24/7 live stream, you'll be able to hear the nuclear codes being transmitted in real time between these planes and the subs underwater. Also, we have another nuclear war command and control plane over Montana right now. And then we also have some VIP planes here. Let me show you the VIP planes. We have one right here coming out of Fort Campbell. And we also have another one that just left Colorado Springs. Okay. So we have VIPs returning to DC, U.S. military VIPs. And we also have two nuclear war command and control planes up in the air, which is an indication that our military is on high alert right now. And here we have official video footage released by the U.S. Central Command showing them striking targets in Iran. And this morning, explosions rocked the Salti Air Base in Kuwait. Jordan. Explosions rocked the Muwafaq Salti Air Base in Jordan. This is a major air base in Jordan, a U.S. base. The Jordanian military said they shot down 8 missiles launched from Iran towards Jordan. Also, the Zarqa Air Base in Jordan was targeted by Iranian missiles. And we're also hearing that explosions rocked the Al Salam and the port area in Kuwait. So that was all this morning, just a few hours ago, about 6 hours ago, okay? And Iranian media is reporting that the Revolutionary Guard and the army's punitive response was carried out with missiles and drones. And the Iranian Foreign Ministry said the U.S. targeted a railway line leading to Mashhad, and we're now hearing that this railway line has been closed. So the U.S. targeting logistics, and sirens were heard at the Victoria Air Base in Iraq near Baghdad International Airport. So potentially Iran was launching drones at this base again, which they did last time. There were also some explosions heard in the Strait of Hormuz this morning, and the Kuwaiti military said that that they shot down 3 ballistic missiles at dawn, 1 cruise missile, and 10 drones within Kuwaiti airspace. Okay, material damage was reported at several locations. 1 person was injured and is in stable condition due to falling debris. So this is rapidly escalating, and we're not being told all the details, but looks like Iran launched a pretty significant retaliation strike this morning and late last night, targeting major U.S. bases in the region. Okay, Victoria Air Base in Baghdad, the base in Kuwait, the base in Jordan. Okay, this is clearly Iran giving us the finger. So now the question is, how do we respond? All right, do we respond, and how do we respond? That's what the world is going to be watching for now. And the Iranian foreign minister condemned U.S. military attacks on the Islamic Republic and warns against any U.S. military misadventure. And Iran's military confirmed 8 military personnel were killed in U.S. airstrikes in Bandar Abbas and Bushehr on Wednesday, naming Air Force and Navy members among the dead. So very interesting. And the Iranian Foreign Ministry said the U.S. attacks are a pretext to justify its continued non-compliance with the Memorandum of Understanding. And the Iranian Foreign Ministry also said the U.S. attacks are a blatant violation of the UN Charter and Articles 1 and 5 of the Memorandum of Understanding. The Iranian Foreign Ministry also said Tehran will not allow Washington to violate agreements or to continue its policy of intimidation. So, very interesting. And the Iranian Health Ministry is now saying 14 people killed in the last 2 days of U.S. airstrikes. Okay, so this is rapidly escalating. And here we have a video clip, a real video clip, showing the strikes last night. Check this out.
بله تو بزن همونجا بیس بابا خوبه جاش خوبه من پشت تیرکم شما جفت شیشه نباشید نه پایینه اون پایینه
So looks like 4 or 5 strikes right there back to back in this one area. And the U.S. Central Command said U.S. forces struck approximately 90 Iranian military targets, including air defense systems, coastal surveillance assets, missile and drone storage sites, naval capabilities, and military logistics infrastructure along Iran's coastline. The latest strikes follow successful execution of offensive strikes in Iran the night before. Okay, so 80 strikes the first night, 90 strikes the second night. Okay, so that's a lot, guys. That's pushing on almost 200 strikes, 200 targets. That's big, okay, in just 2 days. And that was while Trump was not even in the U.S. He was just at a NATO meeting, and he just quickly selected some target packages that they had already prepared. But imagine what they can do now when he's back in the U.S. and they have time to really plan everything out. So it's going to get really interesting. I will be live this evening or tonight to cover any strikes again. This time I'll make sure that I don't miss that. And we're hearing that the U.S. Central Command bombed the railway between Gorgan in North Iran. This is the first attack outside of the Persian Gulf region since the ceasefire began in April. So they actually struck a railway in northern Iran as well. There was footage released that showed air defense interceptors engaging incoming Iranian ballistic missiles over Kuwait and Bahrain. And Trump said that the strikes last night were retribution for yesterday's bombing of ships by Iran, adding that if it happens again, it will get much worse. Wow. And the U.S. Vice President said Iran must understand that Trump said the Strait of Hormuz will remain open, and if Iran tries to close the strait, it will face a U.S. military response. And Axios, citing a U.S. official, reported that the White House is preparing for what could become a multi-day or even multi-week exchange of fire with Iran over the Strait of Hormuz. The current escalation could last a day or two, a week, or a month, depending on whether Iran continues its attacks on commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Wow. And U.S. officials said the duration and intensity of the new campaign depend entirely on the upcoming steps that Tehran will take. And he also said we may launch more strikes on Iran at a later time. And Iranian TV reported that a U.S. missile targeted the vicinity of the Bushehr nuclear power plant. Wow. If you're not aware what the Bushehr nuclear power plant is, it's a Russian power plant built for the Iranians on the Persian Gulf. Bloomberg is reporting that shipping traffic in the Strait of Hormuz has come to a complete standstill following the U.S. strikes. And significant damage was seen to the maritime control tower in Chabahar in Iran from the U.S. strikes. So that was in southern Iran. And passenger train services from Tehran to Mashhad have been suspended following the U.S. attack. Railway repair teams have been deployed in an effort to fix the railway. And an informed official in the Bushehr province said the attack by the U.S. military on Bushehr did not cause any damage to the nuclear power plant. There is no need to worry. And several explosions were heard in Bahrain this morning. Unconfirmed reports of repeated impacts. Okay, so that was actually the second round of retaliation by Iran. And Iran's Speaker of the Parliament and head of negotiations said America still hasn't learned that bullying and breaking promises are no longer cost-free. Let me put it plainly, if you strike, you'll get hit. Don't flail around pointlessly or you'll sink even deeper. The Strait of Hormuz will only open with Iranian arrangements, not American threats. Wow. Absolutely insane. And so, absolutely crazy situation, guys. I will be monitoring it very closely. Also, the president of the Czech Republic said that Ukraine has a mere 2 months to prepare because Russia is expected to announce a massive mobilization and further escalate the war against Ukraine in the near future. And France is going to be moving troops into Finland to reinforce the Finnish-Russian border. So we got a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to be monitoring everything, and I will go live if the U.S. strikes Iran again. So make sure you have your notifications turned on. Make sure you download my free app from the Google Play Store so you get notified when things are happening. Also consider joining my Patreon. I post text updates and summaries throughout the day in between the news updates to keep you guys updated over there. Also, there's no advertisements on Patreon. That's patreon.com/NYPrepper. And until later on, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere. And this update was sponsored by EMP Shield. Guys, EMP Shield has created a special discount just for you, the listeners of the NYPrepper channel. If you go to empshield.com and use the promo code NYPrepper, you can get 15% off your entire order. And why do you need an EMP shield? Well, this is a special device to protect your vehicle, your RV, your solar generators, your radios from an electromagnetic pulse, which could be caused by a solar flare or potentially a rogue country like North Korea detonating an electromagnetic pulse weapon over the United States that's mounted onto a satellite. So protect your vehicles, protect your RV, protect your radios, protect your generators with an EMP shield. Use my promo code NYPrepper to get 15% off. Installation is super simple. This is a veteran-owned business, 100% American-made, and the EMP shields have been tested by the military, okay? And free shipping is included to the entire continental United States. And the link and the promo code are in the description below this video.